Let's have a look at Customer Relationship Management, commonly known as CRM, which is just a way of tracking, listing and interrogating contacts primarily with customers. Let's click on CRM and let's assume that I've just made contact with Julie Keys. So we'll make that an initial call. We can say that we called her about product A, and that we could say at the moment the interest is low. I can make a note to say call again, and I can put a note to call her, let's say, in 2 days' time. If we assume that 2 days has gone by, I can say that I've contacted her again, and Julie has expressed some interest and requested a brochure. Again on product A, and at the moment the interest we'll say is medium. I'll make a note to call her again in 3 days' time, and again in 3 days' time I'll call her again, and this time she's asked me to send a quotation about product A, and the interest is now high. Again, we'd make a note to call in 3 days, assuming that that's 3 days has gone by. We'll say that she's accepted our quotation, placed an order, and is now a customer for product A, and order taken. But with some imagination, this system can be made to achieve a number of goals. Let's go to another customer. And let's say this time that Mr. Paul Jones of Ward Turner actually contacted. And he contacted us via Yellow Pages, and that he was inquiring about Service B. We can still say that we've sent out a brochure about Service B, and that the interest is medium. So before I show you where all this information is being collated, you may have noticed that next to the action there are actually CTBN numbers, and that just stands for contribution. You'll understand what they are for on the next form. Let's open CRM activity. Okay, so now you can see where all this information is going. At the moment I'm just looking at telephone calls made this week. I could look at last week. I could look at all of the contacts between these 2 dates. I can look at my contacts only, all Paul, or I can choose to see all of the people that have made contacts, and here you can see Jane and Graham. If I just want to see what Jane's been doing, I can click on Jane, or I could pick Graham. And the points that we mentioned are now down the side here, and this is the total for any period that I choose. So if I go back to Paul and I look at what I actually did last week, I did 59, sorry, this week, I did 59 this week and 51 last week. It's just a very coarse indicator of what amount of activity is being produced. I can now filter these records with the same lists that were selected originally. Let's see how many we've had from the web. None. Has anybody had any? Yep, we've had one. That was to me. Web inquiry about product A. I could also see what inquiries we've had through Yellow Pages, and I can see we've had 2 from Yellow Pages, one for product A and one for Service B. Let's remove that filter for a second, and we're putting something more general. Let's have a look how many calls were made about product A and what was the level of high interest, or what was the level of low interest. So hopefully you can see that by simply choosing a range of dates, we've got who's making the calls, whether it's just me or all of them, and then I can filter those with these two filter boxes to get results that mean something about my business. And if we just close that, we're back to the main form, and that's the basics of customer relationship management.